I'll just go through the in-person felicitation from various present and former colleagues. And I'll start, I think I'll get the mic, maybe you need not come, I'll just stand there and speak. I'll start with Professor Dattaguru. And okay.
I think the first should be 5 minutes. Okay, so dear friends, it is indeed a great pleasure for me to speak about my younger colleague, Professor Gopalakrishnan. Gopalakrishnan came to IISc around 95 about that. I don't remember exact thing. And it was very interesting. He has almost come with I didn't use the word, a vengeance. He came to India and some 3-4 years he worked in different organizations. Maybe not 3-4, maybe 2 or 3 years. EMRC and some other organizations. He never actually took it as a loss. He came to IISc, he sprang into his action, whatever he wanted to do. He never took that time he lost when he came for the first few years. And I tell you, I had a great association. Several people thought, as a senior professor, I actually make him work and then put my name behind his papers. In fact, we both agree that we don't have a single paper actually together as of today. I really found he can actually work himself very independently and collaborate with several scientists abroad in India at the various places that I don't have to bother him to put my name behind. Is L. Gopalakrishnan and Dattaguru. Don't have to do that. I am so happy. I am always say that whenever I retire, whenever I leave an organization, the next my younger colleagues or my other colleagues who come in, they do much better than me. And he is another one who proved it, that he has actually left me much behind and he has gone and grown to a very, very actually great heights. Well, I actually wish him all the best. I don't know whether I should call him as a younger brother. I also luckily also worked with his younger brother too, who is here, at Ram Prasad. I think both Mr. Gopal and Ram Prasad had worked with me and made me very proud. I wish Shri Gopal and his wife Anu and the children, Karthik and Kirtan. Karthik and Kirtan. I'm sorry, I suddenly forget it. I knew that actually, but I forget it. So, all the best actually for the years to come. I wish him 10 years is too small. He is only 65. I am talking to him today at 83. So, 20-25 years more of active life. I wish him all the best.
I request Professor Munjal, who is also come today.
Formally, I am basically from first internal combustion engineering and then mechanical engineering. And my association with this department started when I became chairman of the Division of Mechanical Sciences. And that is when I came in contact with this great researcher, Professor Gopalakrishnan. I have really great regard for him because when I looked at his publications and the books and the kind of work he was doing, it was really an inspiration. I could really cite him for others to inspire. And that is how I came to know. Later on, of course, we became good friends, and for the last few years, he has also been associated with the Bengaluru chapter of the Indian National Academy of Engineering. And there where he was first member, then secretary, and now presently he is president. So, it's really a pleasure to be associated with this function today. And I just want to tell you that he is a very great scientist and more than anything, a very nice colleague and gentleman. And I really wish him all the best I'm sure he's going to be around for many years, like myself. Here in IISc, people don't retire suddenly. Okay, as they say, they only fade away. Okay, so that is how it is, and that's the best part of Institute of Science. And more than anything, last few days, when we had this a little war, 4-day war with Pakistan, then I came to remember this department more than anything, a lot. Because it was from this department that people like Dr. Prahlad, he graduated and really brought such distinction to the country and to the institute. Because he was the one who was director of the laboratory in Hyderabad, which developed that Akash system for protecting ourselves against missiles. And it was really a fantastic thing that he did. But more than that, what I want to tell you is that this department has been responsible for, contributing a lot to the country's defense. In fact, whenever people talk of DRDO, this department really comes in a big way. And in fact, that is how it started in 1942, when this department was started, and it was during that time that HAL also came into being. That is how this department is very special in the history of science in the country. In fact, I personally belong, as I told you, mechanical and internal combustion engineering, and that also had a similar history. It was started in 1945, and just a few years later, it was asked to design what later became GTRA. And similarly, in fact, even in communication engineering, that is how they led to what we call LRD. LRD, yeah. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, this institute has been responsible for indirectly fathering many departments and sectors. And the latest was this example of Dr. Prahlada, who developed that missile protection system. So we are really proud of this department, and I thought I must be present here on this special occasion. I really wish you all the best, and I'm sure you are going to be as active as ever during your retirement, and keep it up. Thank you.
I'd like to invite Professor Vikram Jayaram, who's also, I think I should introduce for many of you may not know, who's also the Divisional Chair of Mechanical Sciences. He's from the Department of Material Science.
An aging phenomenon. If Professor Munjal has to be introduced here, then perhaps it's not surprising you got to introduce me as well. Gopal, welcome to the geriatric community. Enough people have said that you have another 40 years of life left, so I won't worry about that. Let me give you, I'll be brief, just 2 points. Like Professor Munjal, I didn't know the existence of aerospace till I came into the central office. And when I came to the central office, I learnt more from the aerospace department than all the other departments put together. It was one of the most visible, dynamic, and departments. And I think I learnt more about administration in that period. From there, about how to handle interesting situations. And I must thank Gopal for being there through a large part of that journey. He's a person of, I don't want to sound too corny here, but of great integrity. If he says something, you know exactly what his position is. You know what his stance, and that makes it easy to deal with situations. And I really appreciated the role that he played during those 4 or 5 years. He's also a person who doesn't only think about his own research. I mean, I frankly don't know where he gets the time to do all this. I'm not surprised your children have forgotten you. Because after writing all these books and papers, he is still a person who is involved with the community, the scientific community on a much broader level. If you look at, and people have spoken about it, so I won't repeat it. The anti-mass programs, the academies, and the various administrative centers of the institute. But there is one shoe that he's going to start filling from next year, and I want to encourage him to spend a lot of time on that, and that is IISc. Structural integrity has become a major, or has the potential to become a major player today, not least because of the recent events of the last few months and many of the urgent requirements in the strategic sector. And I think this society can play an important role. So Gopal, stop writing any more books and do something else. And we look forward to that, and we look forward to your leadership in the years to come. And it goes without saying, we know you will be as active in the next few years as you have been in the last few. So thank you and all the very best.
May I now request Professor Raghunandan? Professor Raghunandan was the former chair of the Department of Aerospace Engineering.
Should I also go there? I know when Karthik offered to pass on the mic there, he really meant that be short. Yeah, Gopal, I know him from the time he joined the Institute of Science. Always, I think he's very calm. He attends to his task, and he doesn't step on others' toes. I think that's very important to maintain good relations with a large number of people. People have talked so much about his technical contributions. You have done wonderful, there's no question about it. I say only two instances I just want to narrate. One is when I was the chairman and the institute was celebrating the centenary conference, and all the departments were conducting conferences. So aerospace engineering was not making any move. And then one day I met him, we were talking about it, and he said, why don't we? I only told one thing, if you are going to be the secretary, we'll conduct the conference. Because I knew that once he accepts the task, he will do it very well, and it did go on very well, I think, at National Symposium. The second instance is when we had the interaction with Fraternity Center. Dr. Jayaram used to come and meet me, and then I happened to know him for a longer time. And then we had to start the center. I think it is when I had to sit with Gopal and decide how we should run and how we can attract more projects and so on. And he also happened to be the first convener for the center which we started in IISc. But there are many. I don't want to go for long. I have been watching him grow. I know about his contributions to IME and so on. But I think 2 points I want to mention. One is, we senior colleagues of yours are lucky. We didn't have a reference of yours. Good luck to all the youngsters. You have somebody here set new standards for the institute, for the department, and certainly for the institute as well. And lastly, I want to say, all the best. You will continue to do well, but do give some more time to your family. They deserve it. Thank you.
I request Professor Deshpande. You want the mic there?
I will not go there.
Okay.
Well, just a few days ago when Jagadeesh gave me a call saying that we are organizing this function and Gopal is retiring, I said it can't be. Just looked like other day when I joined, and as Dattaguru mentioned, right from the day one, it was obvious that Gopal is going to make a big difference. All of you know, Munjal also mentioned that this aerospace department is very famous in the whole country. And aerospace structures and materials, they established, I think, a very distinguished previous status. And Gopal not only continued that tradition of excellence, I think went beyond it. I think, as Dattaguru rightly said, done better there is a Sanskrit saying that Sarvatra Vijay Vichet, Shishya Dikshit Paragayam. Not only a student should be victorious everywhere, but he should be even better than his own professor. And I think Gopal very much did that. Elected fellow of the Indian Academy of Sciences, elected fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, several PhDs, made a name for himself. So many books. I am very happy that the club of distinguished faculty of the Aero Department is retired, is enriched by Gopal joining that. So nice to see all my old colleagues, friends. I wish Gopal and his family the very best, and this tradition of excellence that he has established, outstanding work, will be some kind of a benchmark for other young people to follow. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
I would request Mr. M.S. Bhat. Mr. M.S. Bhat was also a former chairman of the department. He was in the controls group.
I also know Professor Gopalakrishnan since the day he joined the department, and he has been prolific in terms of academic achievements as well as administrative part. Normally, what you find is somebody is good in administration, not so much in research, or you find somebody good in research, not so in administration. But he is the one who has been good in all the aspects, both aspects. I think I am very happy that during my chairmanship also he has helped us a lot in the the establishing of this central department here, new building, and he has been with the department from morning to till the night, and evening every day almost we used to walk together. Myself, K.P.J, then I think somebody from management, some 4 of us used to walk together. Every day evening we used to walk. So I had an opportunity to walk with him and improve my health. Not structural, my structural health. Because of what he did. So I wish Gopal all the best. As I mentioned by so many people, I think we'll be looking forward for your continued program the same contribution towards the sectoral marketing and other aspects also. This is a time I think you can think of some new areas of research and maybe contribute to that. I think I wish you all the best.
May I request Professor T.S. Ramamurthy to speak a few words? And I'll give Professor T.S. Ramamurthy was a professor in the Department of Aerospace Engineering, and
Thank you for inviting me to say a few words. And Professor Jagadeesh called me about a week back and mentioned about this program. I said I will be coming. And Gopal was also in our group where myself and Dattaguru were senior people compared to him. And Gopal's background or the expertise more on the dynamics and things like that. Spectral, as I said, spectral was what he taught here. And whereas my expertise is basically on simple statics. I don't even do vibrations. But except for, we have developed for a composite material modeling and things like the fracture mechanics, which is as a basic input to the dynamic activities. And those of us who have been here in the evening lecture While the Prof, he has summarized his activity very nicely. And he himself made a statement he will be here as an honorary professor. That means he is not cutting off from the research of the institute. Therefore, he will keep up his pace of work. And with that, I want to wish him all the best and health and wealth for him in the future. Thank you.
I'm just going to make a slight change because to invite Dr. Omkar, he wanted to leave early because he stays very far. And Omkar is the chief scientist in the department.
Namaste. Let me start a little metaphorically. We all have seen flute, and the holder of the flute is Gopalakrishnan. If you look at the flute, classical flute, the openings follow something mathematics. They follow this golden ratio of Fibonacci sequence, so full of mathematics. So Gopalakrishnan's papers are also full of mathematics. I often stand in that his publication board, and one of my attempts is to understand at least the title of the paper. So far, I have not been successful. It's so complex, and it is like flute. Of course, flute generates, it's classical flute always generates simple harmonic waves, and it's full of waves which are very good. And Gopalakrishna's work also is based on waves. And also, interestingly, the flute has a lot of implication on the health. There are studies which show that listening to flute will reduce the cortisol levels, stress hormones by 30%. And also it increases the alpha waves of the brain, taking you to the meditative state. So that is health, and Gopalakrishnan also works with structural health. And lastly, yes, he is very simple person. And Gopikas once asked Lord Krishna, who is the holder of the flute, how come you are so close to the flute than all of us? Then he showed the flute. You see, this generates very good healing, soothing sound. But look at inside. It is empty. No ego. And that is Gopalakrishnan. That's what I have seen. The most egoless person, because I've been with his complete as chairman. He has supported on various of our projects. One is flight vehicle design. Thank you for the support you gave to run the course, and our annual open day where we had the flight shows. Thank you. God bless you and your family.
I request Professor K.P.J. Reddy. Like Rush, please. Professor K.P.J. Reddy is also a professor in the Department of Aerospace Engineering, and his expertise is in shockwaves.
Gopal, I really feel it's a great day. We were the walking mates, every evening, whole campus used to know that we were walking. And when I was walking with him, I never felt that we are professors. We used to talk such simple things, so that's what he is all about. And he's academic, things are great. I think we have one paper together. It's well cited. Then we are working on one building International Science Center in Delhi, 206 acres. And it's already a very famous part of it. We have just inaugurated about 2 years ago. Somnath came and inaugurated. So that's a project which is really bringing name to all of us. Then one thing I would like to tell after hearing all these prizes to him, Gopal, I'll give you the other side of the story. Till now, what you have done, I think, is just minor part of what your life is going to be if you do it properly. So I feel this I realized when I went out of the department, I could do my work 10 times more than what I did in 30 years. So this is what you are jumping from a pond to ocean. There is so much. Just to give you a perspective, I am working on a project, $8 billion to bring Saraswati River back. I am working from $33 billion. That's bringing the Linganamaki water to Bengaluru. Then I am working at a very high level, $3 trillion project to make India superpower by 2047. Imagine, I may be the small fellow. There is so much out there. So then I realized what I have wasted in my IISc 27 or 30 years was really a waste. So Gopal, don't get bloated saying that I have done great. This is just nothing what you could do if you open your eyes. There is so much to do it. And I don't know, and Dr. Kalam has shown us that highest position also is open to us. So we can reach to that. And believe me, it is there. Therefore, go out and conquer that and bring name to all of us. And you have that capacity. And I wish you all the best. Okay. Thank you very much.
I request Professor Suwas, the Dean of Divisional Dean of Mechanics. Let's say a few words.
Thank you. So I will be really in few words because I don't know aerospace engineering department so much, but I know Gopal more than aerospace department, at least I can say so. So from the beginning of my career here, we have been friends, and we were brought together by a gentleman called K.K. Shankaran, who was going from Boeing, and he made us friends, and he said, hey, you guys are having very similar temperament and very similar attitude towards profession. So I want both of you to work together. Somehow this didn't work. We didn't have a common project. But then we started thinking, and eventually he became chairman, and after he quit chairmanship, I became chairman. All this things. But in between, we have taken one student who is yet to graduate. He is somewhere here. So I hope we'll have one PhD student at least jointly, right? And probably we will have one book also. So that way, I think Professor Reddy has done some watershed on our plan. So we are planning to have a book. So I am sure he will have a very active life after during his honorary professorship. He will not desert us. He will keep coming to the institute regularly and he will also be a motivator of our forthcoming undergraduate program. So this I know it's a touchy subject, but I am announcing it here. I am sure I am going to take his help, and the institute will be very thankful to you if you continue in this direction. So at this moment, I just wish you a very good health, which you have and you will continue to have. And only one thing is that you will not have regular duties of the department, so you will be more productive research-wise, and also a little bit you can move towards what Professor Reddy has said, but keeping your department identity intact. So I wish you all the best and wish you a very happy, healthy years ahead. Thank you.
Request Professor Joseph Matthew to say a few words. Joseph Matthew is the chairman of the department.
I wasn't, I hadn't actually collaborated with Gopal in a way, though there was a plan a few years ago about offering an institute-wide class on wave propagation. Professor Gopal has written a very nice tome on wave propagation, and I also have a little bit of a background, and we thought we would do this. It didn't happen, and I think it's my fault. I want to say something which is complement to what Professor Raghunandan said. I have noticed how these tasks of, let's say, organizing something that brings together a large number of people, whether it is a conference like he was talking about, or the department review which he handled and so on. Now the Axis Bank Center, he does this apparently effortlessly. It happens, you know. there's a time when this has to get done, and he's able to do that. And I have watched this several times, and I admire this ability. Personally, there were two instances that illustrates, I think, but I'm not going to get into the details, but two occasions where his sense of responsibility about the department and the institute came through. One was some years ago when I was the BCC convener and there was a certain issue, and Gopal stepped in to solve that. And the second time was shortly after I took over as chair of the department, and there was some issue, and Gopal stepped in to address that problem and settle it. So there's a certain kind of responsibility to the department that he has exhibited throughout, and though these are the only two instances that I recall, I'm sure he has helped many others and on many other issues too, and I think that's remarkable citizenship and loyalty to the department and the institute. I wish you and your family the very best going forward. Thank you.
I request Premar Bhat. Premar Bhat is the chief scientist in our department. His interests are in non-destructive testing and structural.
After listening to so many talks and presentations since morning, I started wondering, this Professor Gopalakrishnan, is it one person or 10 persons? How a single person can achieve so much and still be so humble, simple and down to earth, just like Dr. Omkar said, zero ego. I'm just happy that I'm one of his colleagues here and have had some association in terms of joint students, joint projects and some papers together. I wish you all the very best. I think I will not be overboard if I say Professor Gopalakrishnan will be right there at the top in the history of the department, just by the number of books and the chapters he has written and the quality journal papers he has published. I wish you all the very best in your second innings, more fruitful, healthy and active. All the very best. Thank you.
I invite Dr. Nayak, Narayan Nayak, who's also a scientific faculty in our department, and he is one of the former students of Professor Gopal.
Good evening to all. I am grateful to have Guru like Gopalakrishnan, and he has helped me throughout my PhD work. He started every day calling me to his office for preparing for comprehensive exam, and he used to tell me, "Are you confident? Are you confident?" Then over the period I developed the confidence level high, and now I am able to confidently do any work. He is such a great person and guide that he used to write paper like anything. He has cultivated the publishing paper in such a speed manner that I also started publishing over the period, and I also produced many papers. Yeah, and he used to sit with me for writing paper, and he used to guide. I never find such a teacher in my life. I wish him and his family a great life ahead. Thank you very much.
So we will move from faculty towards students, and we'll start with formative. And we'll start with some of our former students of Professor Gopalakrishnan, and we'll start with Dr. V. Ajit, who's with the Sound Systems. Isn't it?
Yeah. My name is Ajit, I'm now working in Dassault Systems. First of all, thanks for giving me this opportunity. It's a privilege to be part of this function. Actually, one thing what I notice is ability to guide all types of students, like highly motivated students and average students like me. He knows how to handle all these kinds of students. So that's the first thing. Like, I got an opportunity to work with him. I had friends here, so before joining here, they told me they will tell you who are the professors who can work with. His name was not there, but when I talked with him, I selected, like, I was impressed with the subject, and like then but I don't know, means after 13 years, like I never thought about, like, I thought that, like, I will think about wave propagation in my life forever, but somehow I lost the touch. But thanks for giving me this opportunity to think about these things again. One thing what I noticed is his like the way he guide. Like, one instance I can tell. It was my first conference paper here, so I would present one paper, and I was going to the conference with one of my friends. So he was talking to his professor, like how to, like they were talking about, like how can we find a schedule where nobody is there, like after lunch or last presentation. So they were discussing those kind of things. Then I was also thinking, okay, how can I tell to these things to professor? But when I reached there, he called me and told me that, Ajit, you are first presenter after the keynote, and that too in Jayan Tata main auditorium. I was really nervous, and but somehow I managed, like, overcome, like the main part what I wanted to tell you is that when we overcome that situation, that challenging situation, the confidence what we feel is really great. So we'll give such opportunities so that we can grow. So all the best for him. Like, thanks for giving me the opportunity to work with you. All the best. Thanks.
Sushoma?
Hi everyone. Thank you for inviting me to say a few words about Professor. I'm Srinivasan Mukherjee. I work as an associate director with EY, Global Delivery Services. I'm based out of Kolkata. I'll keep my speech very short and crisp. Number one, I'd like to say that, I'd like to reiterate the point that wherever I've done in industry as well as a couple of visiting student positions, I saw that people were extremely respectful about the professor. So that's a unique position that I had there as his students. I would say a few unique characteristics that I personally experienced about him as a supervisor. Number one, he gives all the freedom in the world for you to work. And at the slightest call for help, he'll be by your side. That's a very unique thing as a supervisor. The second thing is that I've seen that whenever I had any difficulty, I approached him. I found that he already knew about the answer, as if he spent good amount of time already on the problem. I do not know how come he understood that and he could say that. So that's one thing. The other thing I see, I work with on AI. There is a thing called mental learning. It's learning to learn. So rather than working on a particular problem or a project, I think what he taught us and all the students is how to really learn something. So it's not learning something, but learning how to learn something. So that's very important nowadays in a very fast changing world where the subjects are changing every 6 months or so. So it's fantastic time. It's fantastic to have you as my supervisor, Professor Gopalakrishnan. Thank you so much.
May I invite Dr. D.P. Ghosh?
I am Devi Prasad Ghosh, probably senior regular student, IISc. In AI, one of the main problem is exploration versus exploitation dilemma. Like me, after doing some industrial work, when I come here, so many world famous faculty, so I lost in the exploration. But in the life, we need the balance. So that balance I got from my faculty. Thank you, sir.
There was a request from Raghunandan, am I correct? You wanted to say a few words about Sri Gopalakrishnan? He's, let me introduce yourself.
Good evening to all. So I am from industry. So I was ex-Indian Railway Services and started a startup in IISc in 2016 with a social cause of nobody should die in the train accident. How to use research into the technology to stop accident. So I went to Professor Gopalakrishnan. Sir, can you join with me in this social cause? Can we make accident-free Indian Railway by 2030? And I was really impressed the way he responded for the social cause. Bro, I'm there. And rails are structures like a aerospace. And each rail can be monitored real time to stop the accident. And you cannot imagine how many people are dying because of train accident and because of rail fractures. And they happen every day, every minute. And we don't know how to, but we need to run the trains. And the gangman walks day and night to find out, but he cannot. And morning, there's a rail fracture, accident happened. So I wish him to retire, but sir, start second innings until 2030. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
We'll start, so we move now on to current students. Shalini Sir.
Good evening, everyone. Actually, I joined Professor Lab just in the month of December, and from the day I joined, I feel very comfortable there, and I started doing my work again. I was of low confidence earlier, but I regained my confidence. That things have helped me a lot to move out of this thing, and Sir's door is always open for us whenever we want to have any discussion, any doubt clearance thing, or any kind of encouragement we need. So Sir's always helped us a lot, and it was really very good experience with working with the professor. Thank you, sir.
Are you going to work with him or discontinue?
Yes, sir.
What did he say? You're thanking him and you're quitting him.
No. I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm still working.
Relax. Thanks.
Thank you.
Vishwanath? Sorry, I left you out for. Say a few words. One can speak. Yeah. Come here.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Professor Gopalakrishnan, for giving a chance to work in your lab. I was a master's student here. I had certain issues, and during that time, Professor Dattaguru, Professor Dinesh, Professor C.R. Murthy has helped me, and Professor C.R. Murthy, when he helped me, he said, I'll help you, but you come back and do a postdoc with me. Then I thought I should honor that one. And just after finishing my PhD, I contacted him. He said, I'm retiring. So he said, why don't you work with Professor Gopal? Then I took the chance because I always wanted to work with him during my master's as well. He gave enough liberty. He also gave me a mentorship to guide
younger PhD students, is to take all the ideas and churn it over and tell what is the next best way to deal with the problem. I was about to kind of get some results on that Boeing project, and I happened to visit Hyderabad. They asked me to just give a talk, and then I did, and they asked me to join as a faculty. Well, I don't know. I promised my Department of Aerospace that I would serve as a postdoc for 2 years. I was hesitant. When I went there, he just said that it's a dream job, you just go there. So thank you, Prof, for helping me. Then the second instance I would tell, it was during SAIS 2016, me and Gangadharan called Professor during the conference time. He was busy there. Then we sat with him and we were asking him how to deal with writing more project or how to be efficient in getting funding. He told that don't worry, you write, do thorough job and write, and eventually you get success. So at least I did that one. I wrote a number of projects, nothing came. But I didn't lose the hope. Eventually, all the things have turned up after 3-4 years. So that piece of advice, not only for the students, but also for postdocs like us, was really helpful, especially in 2 points of my life in this academic journey. Thank you, Professor, for giving me a chance to be in your lab for a short period. Thank you. Hello?
So, first of all, I want to thank Professor Karthik Venkataraman for giving me the opportunity to speak about Professor Gopalakrishnan. So, I am recently passed out from this Israel, and I am very much grateful to him for giving me the opportunity to join under his guidance. And although I was not very much sure that how I will be continue my PhD, how will I finish my work, but I think he had planned, and then he guided me continuously how to, what to work, when to work, and then successfully I completed that. So thank you, sir, for all those motivation and help. Thank you.
Hello everyone. So by now so much has been said about Professor S. Gopalakrishnan that if I add anything it may sound like a repetition. But as a current student of computational living mechanics lab, it's important for me to share a few words here. And also when we were preparing for the event today, a few weeks back, Professor Jagadeesh said that without present there's no past and future. So it's very important for a current student to say something. So first thing is that it will be an honor for me to be Professor's 33rd PhD student, hopefully very soon. And yeah, and that honor actually comes with a responsibility. Because when I go places and I introduce myself that I'm a Professor S. Gopalakrishnan student, definitely it's a matter of pride for me, but it carries a responsibility to carry forward his values, his excellency and legacy. And actually that responsibility doubles because Satyam sir is my co-guide. So the responsibility becomes doubles. And I hope I will be able to maintain that in my career, and that's all I wish to say. Thank you, sir, for your continued support. Thank you, sir, and thank you all.
Thank you so much. I request Jagadeesh to say a few words and then formal things.
Yeah, friends, lovely good evening, and I think it's been a very long day, and I don't think I'm going to give a very long speech, but it's fine. I think we'll be closing in about 7 o'clock, right? So I think good. I'll not take more time. Gopal, it has been a wonderful journey. And I was trying to think, what do we say on occasions like this? Because people normally tend to get nostalgic and say many things which are normally good and so that person would feel very happy about. But I remember what Professor Ranjan Ganguly said when he actually left the institute. He said, Gopal, you started with a bang and ended with a blast. And some of you who know the history of institute, he started with a bang when he took over as the chairman of the department. He actually conducted the first international review. It was a very successful exercise considering large amount of data was put together, and we also had our 75th anniversary of the department where many people came. And fortunately or unfortunately, when he left the chairmanship, then there was a blast in my laboratory. And then probably that's why Ranjan in a light vein said, you started with a bang and ended with a blast. Notwithstanding that, I think Gopal is a very unusual model for the academic. And I would say this because Professor J.S. many years ago actually told this to me also, and I think he also told this to Professor Gopal, and Gopal actually followed this verbatim. Professor J.S. was an unusual teacher, an amazing teacher, and I had taken some of his, audited some of his class, and I'm sure most of you know how thorough he was. He said in IISc it is very simple. If you want promotion, you publish papers. If you want to build your laboratory, you do projects. And if you want money, go and do projects. So absolutely there was complete clarity in what he said. And I think that's all he completely did during his stay here. He published, he produced PhDs, he built his own laboratory, patents and technology. So they're completely wedded to the profession. I mean, this is something I cannot never forget. Although people think that we have had umpteen number of coffees and we walk together every day, they think we are very close, so we influence each other's decision. But then seldom that we have tried to step onto each other's zone of comfort. But the very nice thing about him is the sincerity that he has had about his profession. I know whenever he has written textbooks, he used to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and then write a book. Somebody to write a book, believe me, they're extremely organized in the mind. I don't think it's an easy task for someone to write a book like this. And I think, Gopal, you have had several things. People will say you retire. But let me tell you, there is nothing called retire. You only re-attack. Probably you wear new set of clothes and then begin your second innings. And I am sure now that we have a change in captaincy in Indian cricket team, India always they play their second innings better than the first innings. I am sure that you have a fantastic second innings which you will be able to participate in several programs that we are going to do in the years to come. I think now we have just submitted a joint proposal to AR&DB, and I am sure that proposals will come and then you will keep yourself busy. And you are blessed to have a wonderful family, and I think they are not here today because I also realized little early in my life, as we grow up in life, because there is nothing called aging where everybody becomes old one day, there are only two questions people will ask you in our life. Maybe I am wrong, but this is my personal view. One, they would ask you, how are you? Are you healthy? And the second one, of course, how is your family? Are they healthy? Your bank balance, all the other things that we do, yes, that is passed on to the next generation. But I think in that context, you are blessed to have a wonderful family. And I have a small surprise for you. I want you to play that video. I wish your family was here, but I knew that they are traveling. Maybe we have a small, I don't know if this has remained a secret or already they have told you, but there are some personal messages from your family on this occasion. They didn't tell you? Good.
Hi Gopal, I know you'll be surprised to see this video. Anyway, I miss being there personally. It gives me an immense pleasure to wish you on this occasion. What can I say? Like, it has been one wonderful journey with you for past 35 years. Starting with you at Purdue and ending here at IISc 28 years back. Can't imagine how fast the time flew. Feels so wonderful to see you achieve so many things in this 28 years. At this point, I would like to wish you a more productive, healthy, relaxing year ahead, and hoping to see you do things which you like the most. I wish you the very best. And having said that, I also would like to thank you for being there for us in spite of your busy schedule for both me and for the kids, and also for the people who made our journey here in IISc a more memorable one. Thank you. Bye.
Hi, Abba. Congratulations on your retirement. I honestly cannot imagine you not getting up and going to work every day morning. You've always been the true definition of what hard work and dedication looks like. And growing up, you always set such an amazing example of what a good work ethic looks like for both me and Karthik. And I'm truly grateful for all your support in my academics. But other than that, even in my music, I couldn't have gotten to where I am today in both of these fields without your constant support and encouragement. So very grateful for that, and very proud of everything you've achieved. You've achieved and accomplished so much. And yeah, I really hope that you take this time to actually relax and do other things. So yeah, happy retirement.
Hi Pa, congrats on your great career and your retirement. I would have loved to be there, but unfortunately, due to many reasons, I cannot be there. I would like to highlight and thank you for showing me what true passion is, what true drive and determination is to go get something that you want. They say that great leaders are people who show by action and not words. And you have been a great example of that. Throughout my remembrance of you, you've always shown what hard work is, just your work ethic. And I know that I will never be able to achieve that level of work ethic, but I hope someday I do. Above all of it, I would also like to thank you for giving me the childhood that I have. By virtue of your career at IISc, I got to grow up in such a nice place, in such a nice environment, surrounded by some amazing people who I'm sure contributed and helped me become the person I am today. I also know that the retirement is on paper for you. I know that the same passion still lies, the same drive still lies, and tomorrow you're going to go back to the same department, do the same things with the same passion and same commitment that you've always had, which I think is the best thing about you. And I wish I can have the same kind of commitment in life in general. Happy retirement, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you, friends. And I think, Gopal, in conclusion, although many people here may not understand Kannada, I am reminded of a very nice couplet from Mankutimana Katta. And there he says, Hullagu bettadadi, manage malligeyagu, kallagu kashtagala male, bor kareye, bella sakkarayagu, dina kudurpadaringe, ellarolagu ondagu Mankutima. The gist of this, it simply says that if you are below a hill, actually you should become more like a nice garden or a probably lawn where cows can actually come and graze. And then if there is always a problem, then you should become so strong like a boulder. And you also should be so sweet that you can wipe the tears from people who are not able to afford things. And you should also be like a jasmine to your own family and become one with everybody in life. Probably, I think that justifies and completely signifies how you have led your wonderful life here. And I am sure there are many more years to come. And I think we come to a very wonderful part of the program today. I would request you to come to the stage, and I would request both Professor Satyam, the Dean of Division of Mechanical Sciences, and Professor Joseph Matthew, the Chair of the department, to come and felicitate Gopal on this occasion on behalf of the department and the Society for Shockwave Research. Karthik, you want to say a few words before I do vote of thanks? Or? Huh? Anybody else would like to say anything? Yeah, he will speak. Yeah. Gopal, you want to respond briefly? Or?
Only few words. What time is the dinner? Okay. Thank you all for your wonderful thoughts about me. Sometimes I really think, do I deserve it? It's not. It's a duty. It's a karma. When you come here, you have to do it. So I am very overwhelmed and really there's so many things that I can talk because this is not a small time, 28 years, we have undergone so many things and so many lives we have brought in, so many careers we have made and it is really wonderful. And especially I would like to thank my colleagues here in the department. I work with several chairmen, including starting with Professor B. Raghunandan, Professor Bhat, Professor Ghosh. And one of the things they think that I am capable of is to, maybe because of my publication record, you identify among the faculty candidates, good candidates. So I worked with all the three in the faculty recruitment. I was in charge of the department. And some of the newer faculties who we have identified, I had a role to play, including people like Professor Santosh, Professor Ashwini, and they are all, and all the new ones, especially recruited when I was the chair. And these are the people who have to carry the legacy of the department. This department is not like any other department, as Professor Munjal said. It is a legacy department, and we need to keep that very high. And who is responsible? Our faculty. So I request the faculty to keep this legacy going. And so there are different cadres. See, I was the present generation going out. Then we have previous generation like BNR, Dattaguru, PRM, and the entire aerospace landscape has changed. And those days, we had our ME students, they finish, they go there to either DRDO space, and they were the connect to our people now. And they used to come back, and the very first time I joined, Dattaguru gave me an advice, don't author any paper with senior professors. And so I never authored. Either with TSR or TSR I had a common student, so I had one or two papers, but none with Dattaguru. But what I learned and what I am very helpful is they involved me in the consultancy projects right from day one. I don't know how many consultancy, and that I didn't know anything about it. And TSR taught me design. Design was zero. We never, in fact, all our education, we never learned design. The entire rocket motor casing design and the Prithvi container design, so many other things. And we did a lot of consultancy project, and through this, what did I gain is connection with the people, because this department faculty needs to be connected with the people of ISRO and space. And currently, none of our faculty are for various reasons. This is very important to get established. So I request people of the current faculty, this is our bread and butter. This is where we grew up, and that has to continue even though the landscape has changed. Now DRDO and space know what they want to do. They're not coming to us. But it is better to go and sit there, reviews what is happening there to do. Even yesterday I was in NSTL in their torpedo design. We need to sit. We may not be an expert, but we need to connect with them and do what it is there. And you will not believe how you get newer ideas in research, even though you may think those problems are mundane. So my request is to the new faculty, continue this legacy. this department has to be where it is. It has to grow very high. In those days, people, anybody you ask, Professor Dattaguru, ABK, in my structures domain, I'm talking Narsima, they are all legends. And we are not that much compared to them because of various reasons. But we need to bring it there. I request all the younger faculty to carry this forward and we did a little bit, it's very small, but this needs to grow much higher. So I thank you all for coming, patiently listening. You may have felt some of my presentation by boring because I had to summarize. I had too many students, of course. And I didn't do a good job because I never covered my MTech research and ME students. Why? Because each of the ME students, I never let them go without at least 2 papers. So that if they have 2 papers, there is something that I could have spoken to them, but unfortunately I didn't do it. So I thank you all my students for coming, and please continue wherever you are. All the very best. And I again thank from the bottom of my heart to Shri, Jagadeesh, Shockwave Society, my student, for putting this excellent program. Thank you very much.
So I just want to say thanks to so many people. I think the students of Professor Gopal who are here, they did a great job by joining hands, and some of our own students from LHSR and also from the Center of Excellence in Hypersonic. Srisha is one person if I need to thank for putting the show. Thanks a lot, Srisha. It was a great show. And, thanks, Gopal, and special thanks to Dr. Rajendran for having come all the way from United States. Good that we were able to seek this time. To Madam Rajendran also for staying us with us. And I think, Gopal, thanks for giving us an opportunity to celebrate your work. Success is never a journey. Success is always a journey. It's never a destination. And I am sure this department has such wonderful, legacy. All our youngsters are enormously gifted and capable, and I am sure they would carry forward this whether we say or not. Because we can never judge about what is going to happen in the future based on the present or the past. Because whatever we tell is based on our own experiences, which is, in my view, is very myopic. Future is very bright. India is on the threshold of becoming probably a superpower in the next coming years. And I am sure Aerospace Department will play its destined role. Friends, thank you very much for sparing your time and coming to this occasion. Special thanks to the office staff for being here throughout the day and then helping us around. Everybody has played little role, including thanks Karthik for anchoring the reminiscences. I was really worried that normally that session tends to stretch too much. But they put out a video, they had a nice display outside. And I think all in all, it gives us a wonderful feeling because by doing this, we are not actually celebrating your work. We are celebrating ourselves. Anything good in the society needs a celebration because people like you would always remain a role model for generations, whether we say it or not. Great job, wonderful. Have a lovely dinner, and I hope this journey continues. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Jagadeesh.